Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to turn this $400 Jackson into
This. Doesn't look much different, but how's it sound? Let's take a closer look.
So, as you may or may not have seen on my Instagram, I recently got a new guitar. It was to solve an issue that I was having with my 7-string collection, and that was a longer scale length. I settled on this beautiful JS32-7, and it has a Bocote top. So as you may have seen in my last video, I wasn't the happiest with my Ibanez RG927. Most of my issues stemmed from two things. First, it was the scale length. I was having an issue with the strings holding tension at length and maintaining intonation. And then the second was the intonation process itself with the Edge 02-7, not having any tools and kind of just eyeballing it and hoping for the best. Didn't really work out in my favor. I sold that guitar, picked up this one, and we're about to upgrade it. So the upgrades are going to be done in two phases. First phase is going to be the electronics, and the second phase is going to be the hardware. So the electronics, I am going to gut it. So we're going to be swapping out the pots, the wiring, the pickups, the switch, the output jack, and we're going to be replacing that with all good value quality products. I haven't decided if I'm going to go 5-way switch or 3-way switch with a toggle for coil splitting. And then phase 2, I'm going to replace the bridge, which is your standard Jackson 7-string bridge, and I'm going to swap in a Hipshot hardtail, which I have recently fallen back in love with. And I'm going to swap out these Jackson tuners with some locking, either Grovers or probably stick with Hipshot again. Got a lot of Hipshot stuff, great stuff. Why am I doing this? Well, the JS32 is a great platform for upgrading and modding, and it's got a great bass. It has a 26.5-inch scale. It's got poplar or basswood. It's one of the lighter, softer woods. Very light, still very resonant. They certainly saved money on the components. So we're going to be swapping in first some Wilkinson pickups. And that's because I wanted to see the difference between the standard pickups that came with it and even a modest upgrade, what that will do to the sound. If I don't like it, we can swap in probably Duncan's or maybe some bare knuckles or DiMarzio. We'll see where this journey takes us. Stick around for the ride.
So I started this project a little while ago, probably a couple weeks, and it was supposed to be easy peasy, stage 1, get everything in terms of electronics flipped over, and I could quickly move on to stage 2, which is the hardware. Well, ran into a number of issues, and I'm kind of here to talk about it. Phase 1, as I said, was swapping out the electronics, so the pots, the switch, the pickups. I went with the Wilkinson 7s, which I found on Amazon. They seem to be of good value. I've never had an issue with Wilkinson in the past. I decided it was a good stepping stone. See if they were incrementally better than the stock pickups, which are on import guitars. They're usually the first thing to be skipped out on. Had a lot of issues with parts. So first of all, if you are going to be following along or doing something similar, the pots need to be metric and they need to be 18 mil long, the shafts. So this is an import guitar. It uses metric instead of the standard imperial, which you would find like CTS pots, blah, blah, blah. I went through about 3 sets of pots before I figured out that it was metric 18 mil. Second, I had an issue with the switch. Because this is an import guitar and the bodies are usually thinner, the cavities aren't drilled down as much. You have to use a specific kind of low profile switch. So I started with a 5-way Fender switch that wouldn't fit. It was getting crushed by the pickup cavity cover. had to switch it out to a low profile 5-way. To be completely honest, got confused, messed it up. The first 2 positions completely nulled the bridge pickup. And then the 3rd through 5th position had a combination of the pickups mixed. Not ideal, not really what I was looking for. So I landed on a low profile 3-way. It's robust, it's well made. You can hear the clickiness. It was a challenge. And then to the final challenge, getting the pickups in. Although this is made very well with very minimal issues, being the price point that it is, the pickup routing is very specific. It is in the shape of the bobbin. If you have any pickups that have a square base plate like the Wilkinsons, they won't fit. However, I was frustrated and tired and over it, so I decided to MacGyver myself some pickup shaped base plates. So I took a pair of wire clippers and just bent off the corners. Not something I recommend. Can be very sharp. Cut myself, scratched up the inside of the pickup cavities, but I made it fit, wired it up, passes sound. But what does it sound like? Let's take a look at some examples. I am very pleased with how it eventually came out. Certainly, I hope that phase 2 is going to go a lot smoother. I have some Godot locking tuners that I'm ready to drop in, and a hip shot bridge like I mentioned, or past me mentioned. It's going to be fun. Anyways, that's it for me. It was a challenge, and I sincerely hope that anyone who's looking to upgrade their relatively inexpensive import guitar, that they watch the video and they learn something and they don't have to go through the same struggles that I did. It's been Mike, the Average Guitarist, signing out.